Hi, my name is Jen, and I am with IdeateTV here at the Long Beach Comic Expo. I'm with my first guest, Mr. Scott, with Digital Sky. He is the author, the producer, the writer for this science fictional podcast. Mr. Scott, please tell me a little bit about yourself and how this came to be.
Oh, first, I hate when people call me Mr.
I'm
no.
sorry. I'm sorry.
You was my first question. Oh, no. I thought that was...
I say Mr.
All right, so here's the deal. So back in 1995, I created the first web series called The Spot. And ever since then, I've been really into new media, whatever it is, new media entertainment, storytelling. And when podcasts got hot, I'm like, oh my God, this is an opportunity to go do something really huge without having to run a crew and so forth. So I cast some really great actors. I got an Emmy Award-winning actor. Eric Hartsoff is in the first episode, Rideshare. I have a Broadway actress in the second episode. So we have top talent sitting around a table doing their thing with storyteller and Anna Brisbane, who is this person. Anna Brisbane is a hot YouTube star and also ridiculous talent. And she is the narrator, so she's the storyteller.
Okay, so she's your narrator. How did you find her?
Does that work? I never thought of doing that.
Yes, it kind of looks like her.
Does that work?
A little bit. Hold on. Let me. There you go. There you go.
Hey,
there you go.
Rock and roll. Ah! You see, that guy's scary.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, the idea was I wanted to do something where I can tell great stories and make them seem big. So like if I had like a video, like I've done tons and tons of videos, but like I had a video episode where it's like, okay, she gets lost in the woods and trapped during the day, no rain because I couldn't afford it. Now I can put it in the dark, storming rain, put the sounds, make it really fun and scary. So it creates a whole new thing for me to be able to tell a story in a whole new way.
Okay. And what are some inspiration that sparked your creativity for the stories that you produce?
I've always wanted to do an anthology. I've worked with all sorts of sci-fi people like William Shatner on a project and Mark Hamill and Bruce Campbell. So I've always been way into comic books. And the Comic-Con actually was one of my closest friends with Stan Lee. And he is one of my great inspirations because he talked about, I did a movie called Stan Lee's Mutants, Monsters, and Marvels with Kevin Smith with him. And so I've always been into this, and I'm also a filmmaker. So the shows that I was the most psyched about in the last few years has been Black Mirror, which was inspired by the Twilight Zone. So great anthology stories where every week I can bring in great cast. Anna tells the story with them, and they're all acting it out, which I will love to play you a piece of as well. You get a clip, we'll email you and send you a clip if you like.
I would totally love to check out your clips and see what it's about. And so the stories you produce in here, and because you get a lot of inspiration, and Black Mirror is obviously a huge one for everyone. Do you think like technology in the future one day these stories may be?
Yes, all of our stories really are inspired by apps. So the first episode is a rideshare app and gone wrong. And the second episode is a text from the grave that becomes a FaceTime. From a FaceTime from a young girl's mom who passed away. We have a time travel app, which is real, by the way. I got that. No, we have a time travel episode. So everything is sort of technology run awry, and how apps control our lives. And that's basically the concept. Almost every episode, you're going to get some version of that story. It's an episode about YouTube influencer who gets himself in trouble trying to be a person who gets himself in trouble. There's a kidnapping of a YouTuber, all sorts of fun stuff.
Oh my gosh. So yes, you talk about like the dangers. Oh no, you're good. Go for it.
Almost always with some sort of twist. That's the other thing. Okay. Like the O. Henry Digital Twilight Zone, always try and have some fun twist to it.
Okay. So you see like the dangers of technology. Do you have like a true story that technology may have taken over your life, or anything that is very similar to? Yeah. Is there any realism in some of your stories based off real life events?
No. And the thing is, no, because honestly, I embrace new technology. I've always been very excited about what it can do. Look, if it's cybersecurity is an issue, so what? For me, I have nothing to hide. I don't care. So for me, it's always been like I can look on the outside and see how those things affect everybody. But I'll get into a rideshare car. Somebody gives me a time travel app. I'll take it. I don't really. It's more about what would happen if. So what would happen if? So the other day I came up with a story where, which I haven't told anybody about this story yet, but it's what if people couldn't have kids, so they decide to have for fun, adopt a cyber kid or a virtual kid.
Okay.
And first it's funny, and then they get attached to them, and then what happens? Those are the kind of stories that each episode is.
You scan this code right here. Check out their trailer. It sounds really interesting. It
Did
sounds
that
like,
work?
yes, hold on, you gotta, like, there you go. It's very,
Crazy.
yes, this is a very interesting podcast. If you like similar stories like Black Mirror, like me, then you'll be definitely interested in it. Please check out their podcast. And it's free, and this will be released on iTunes and Spotify, or which podcast?
It is going to be, at the beginning, it's only going to be on Apple. We're going to release it too. We're working to try and have our Apple relationship. But right now, we will expand that. The trailer is up right now. Please give it a 5-star review if you love it. If you don't love it, don't give it a review. But subscribe, because maybe you'll love it in the future, and then you'll give it a 5-star review.
If you could have any of these apps or things from your stories come to real life, which one would it be and why?
Okay, so it's an easy one for me, the time travel app. Now, the thing about time travel, you get into all sorts of issues with the flux capacitor and so forth. The thing about ours is you can affect the future, and then it stitches back time. So once you travel, you don't remember what you did in the future. So it stitches it back together. So you affect the future. You can't affect the past, because you can't affect the past.
You can't change the past, but
Right.
you can definitely change the future.
Right. So the person from the past comes into the future and has relationships. So why wouldn't I want to do that? I want to go the future and meet my grandkids and tell them safe sex, the whole deal. I want to make sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really huge topic to even discuss for
Which one,
podcast.
safe sex?
No, yes, safe sex is very
Are
important.
you guys R-rated or PG?
Thank you so much, Mr. Scott. It was such a pleasure interviewing you. Thank you. My name is Jen with IdeateTV at the Long Beach Expo. This is Scott. Please, again, check out for their Digital Sky podcast coming in January 21st. So this month. Check it out.